Tonight we're going to talk about where the devil himself showed up. So this girl gets a phone call in the middle of the night. Her boyfriend needs a ride from work. They only have one car. So she's like, yes, I'm on my way. Let's do it. So she jumps in the car and she's still kind of asleep, but kind of awake. Like she knows enough to like obviously drive the car. But you know, when you're kind of in that really deep sleep, but you're like awake, but you're just really not with it yet. This was her. So she jumps in the car and all of a sudden she turns on her car and the song Bon Jovi is just blaring, Wanted Dead or Alive. That's the song. And she hears it and she's like cranking out, like just sitting there waiting for her car to warm up a little bit. And she's kind of trying to wake up a little bit. She puts it in gear, starts backing up, and all of a sudden she hears someone. And they tell her something absolutely horrific. There's a thing in the back seat. And it says, I want you to unalive yourself. I want you to do it. I want you to unalive yourself. And this girl's driving and she can hear and feel this thing in her back seat telling her over and over and over. And she starts shaking her head. She rolls her window down. She cranks the song up even more. She's just trying to get whatever this thought, thing, whatever is behind her away. And she keeps hearing it, she keeps hearing it, and she finally shuts the radio off and she just starts screaming, I'm not going to hear you, I'm not going to hear you, you're not real. And just like that, it goes away. So she goes and picks up her boyfriend and she's very upset. And she's like, I sound crazy, I can't tell you this because it sounds even crazier than me just even experiencing what I just experienced. So her boyfriend's kind of like, oh, okay, whatever, okay. So then fast forward about 6 months, she's working at a place and this guy comes in and he talks about what he does for a living. And he's like, I'm a psychiatrist. And she was like, oh, wow. She's like, I had this really crazy thing happen to me, but it's really weird. And I just keep having these visions of it happening over and over again. So she tells him about this experience that happens. She says it's almost like she was in a dream. Like there was somebody in her backseat telling her to do this. She never did, and as soon as she addressed it, it stopped, but she's still just so spooked out, and to this day, she cannot hear that song. And he looked at her and he said, that will never happen again, because you talked about it and told me it will never happen again. And to this day, the girl has never had that happen. Now, she truly believes the devil was sitting in her backseat, talking to her, telling her to do awful things. But because she talked to this guy at her work, the psychiatrist, it's never happened again. So she's not sure if it's because she brought it to light, it's because she talked about it, voiced her opinion about it, and somebody who knew what they were talking about more said it's not going to happen again, but it's never happened again. So that helps her sleep at night, but it was a very, very weird, vivid moment. And she to this day says, I know that was the devil. I know it was. People hear and see angels. This girl experienced that. Where there was a deep, dark time in her life, she experienced that firsthand. And let me know your thoughts because I know this person is not alone. There is a lot of darkness in this world. This is another story from one of my viewers. If you have a story, don't forget to DM me. I love telling all these people's stories. Everyone has one.